All right, let's bring it back together. Okay, so what did we learn from that insight or that exercise as I try to chug some Diet Coke?
Headshots are really easy to tell.
Headshots are really easy to tell. So for the for the setup, I had people start with thrusts and then I added cuts as a second level off camera. Okay, so headshots are really easy to tell for cuts. Tell me more.
You can go more on noise if they're not hitting hard plastic or anything like that.
You can go on noise. That's real. Hold on to that thought. We're going to talk about that in a second, but that's a really good point. Other thoughts?
It was equally difficult standing behind the person being stabbed and the person stabbed.
Behind, like completely behind, or like?
Yeah, you're right behind them. It's equally as difficult to tell. Yeah, some instances if I'm standing there from when I can't even see the attacker's sword at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, oh, if there's a little flex, I know it stopped and hit something, but now I can't see anything.
Yeah.
On your fences, you might not even be able to see the other person if you're standing right behind them.
Absolutely right. So there's the general point from this is that there's different pros and cons to having different angles. So if I'm fully perpendicular, I might be able to see certain things that if I'm like right down the barrel, I might not be able to. But different weapon systems and different rule sets and different types of scoring actions might make a difference. If I am judging rapier or God forbid small sword, which is a very thrust heavy, like did that thrust have enough purchase? I'm probably going to want to have more time down the barrel because there's more likely the question of did that thrust land properly? Whereas with longsword, because it's more cutting, it's like I can hear that the cut is happening, but did that cut land to the head or did it land to the outer shoulder? That's probably easier to see from a slightly different angle because you're not looking for looking down the barrel and seeing where this cut landed right down is harder than if you're perpendicular, right? So what's the solution? If there's pros and cons, what's the solution? Move around, but also have more than one judge, right? Which is why we do judge training, because we want to have ideally 3 people. Can I just we're all resting, by the way, everyone take a hydrate. I'm not going to have people fence, but I want to have 2 people standing as fencers and 2 assistant judges just for purpose of demonstration right now. So you just stand, no gear needed, no nothing needed, just stand.
All right, on guard.
On guard. Okay, what we're doing knife hand versus water bottle. I'm lead judge. And then can I get 2 other, an assistant judge and 1 more assistant judge. It's totally fine. You don't have to do anything here. This is just demonstrative, right? So if I have, let's say they're doing saber. Well, I mean, I know what they're doing. They're doing water bottle and whatever, right? There's lots of cutting actions here, right? So I have 2 assistant judges. Where are some places that I might want to put my assistant judges? What can I see well from here?
You can see all the cuts pretty well, at least from
Yeah, for sure. I might have some issues if I have a right-handed fencer, that's really holding that position. If a cut lands on this side, I'm obscured. So I want to have an assistant judge that can tell this side. So Connor is in a good position for that, right? Because you can see this angle and I can say, hey, did that cut land over here? Similarly, over here, I can cover whether or not a cut happens on Joe's side and your side here, but what about the far side? Autumn's got that line. Now we'll pretend you guys are doing a rapier water bottle, right? Something like that. Okay. Now let's make an adjustment. Let's have Connor come down over here. And then Joe, if you can land a finger thrust, actually land it. There you go. So from here, I can see from this angle that there's contact. But what if, I'm just going to grab your finger. I can't see that. Who can? Connor, right? So depending on the action. So here, you guys saw they automatically adjusted. They went further down the barrel for that thrust. So as a lead judge and as an assistant judge, a huge part of our job is saying, okay, what are we directing right now? What ring are we running? What are some of the pros and cons challenges of this weapon system? And how do we position ourselves appropriately, right? That is a really important concept.